Hello, my name is Nicholas Allen, and this is my CS109 Challenge project on Bayesian healthcare inefficiencies. In this repository, I will investigate Bayes' theorem in healthcare. Bayes' theorem elucidates how knowledge about a specific outcome affects the possibility that will happen. I will apply this train of thought to discuss diagnoses in healthcare and to challenge when we choose to make medical interventions. Specifically, I will explore the way that the increased screening does not lead to distinct better outcomes in healthcare. Rather, increased screening is a huge inefficiency due to the false positive nature and Bayesian probabilities that we see when testing in healthcare. The large consensus in healthcare is that more screening and testing leads to more efficacious results and better long-term health outcomes. Surprisingly, this is extremely untrue. I'm going to uncover this healthier efficiency through Bayesian modeling. Here, I propose an algorithm that takes in a positive and false positive data and returns the estimated unnecessary expenditures to the healthcare system. To prove the sanctity of this algorithm, I'll perform an example with mammography testing in the United States. This search has wide-ranging benefits for health and equity in healthcare. If not recommended by a doctor, insurance will not always cover the price of a mammography. Mammography can cost up to about $200 out of pocket for a woman of America. Moreover, in light of a positive test, an average of $500 are spent on the next round of screening. So, in 2023, over 41 million mammography procedures were reported in the United States. It's one of the most common medical procedures. To start to understand how many of these are actually necessary and how many of these are going to lead to some unnecessary expenditure for our healthcare system, we're going to look at a smaller study. It was 200,000 women. We had 160 true positive tests, 2,089 false positive tests, 18,000 true negatives, 32 false negatives. So let's define M to be the event where the mammography returns positive and MC to be the event where the mammography returns negative. Now let's define B to be the event that woman has breast cancer and the complement of B to be the event that woman does not have breast cancer. We can see some of our prior and posterior possibilities here. And we're going to look for the probability that a woman tests positive given that she does not have breast cancer. So let's go over to our analysis file here. We have probably a positive test. We have our prior, which is just the probability that a woman's going to test positive given a test. We have our likelihood. We have our normalization constant. So we do our posterior, which is likelihood times prior to normalization, and we get our probability, which we're going to see is 9.97. Awesome. So in addition to that probability this percentage of women who tested positive given that they did not have any breast cancer. So the probability that you're going to test positive and you don't have breast cancer is about 10%. And then for each person, it's about $527 charged back to our healthcare system. And we know there are 41 million of these procedures performed each year. So from pretty quick math statistics, we see that the unnecessary expenditure to our healthcare system amount to about 2 billion. And this is solely for mammographs, which is extremely interesting. So if we keep looking and investigating, we see that yes, we have about $2 billion unnecessary dollars just in mammographies alone. While there are so many different tests that are performed in our American healthcare system, this is a huge way that money is leaking out and that we're not being efficacious enough with our diagnoses. And while it's salient to ensure that these women do not have breast cancer, the same pipeline is prevalent throughout all of healthcare. We are constantly leaking money that could be used to improve patient care and other health outcomes. Furthermore, we start to see that the more intense screening does not necessarily indicate better health outcomes. Rather, it feeds back into healthcare inefficiency where we are spending unnecessary money. To exacerbate this issue, these extra tests are often coming with out-of-pocket expenses. This is prevalent throughout all diagnoses that we perform. Finally, there are wide-ranging ethical concerns for diagnoses such as these. These false positives leave intense mental strain on these women. Altogether, this calls for a diagnosis pipeline with high efficacy, not just for mammography, but for all of healthcare.